The book of Nehemiah, found in the Old Testament, provides a detailed account of Nehemiah's leadership and his efforts to rebuild Jerusalem's walls and revive the community after the Babylonian exile. It highlights themes of faith, leadership, perseverance, and covenant renewal. Below is a detailed summary of the book, divided into key sections. Background and context. Setting. The events occur in the 5th century BCE after the Jewish people had returned from Babylonian exile. Nehemiah, cupbearer to King Artaxerxes of Persia, is deeply concerned about the state of Jerusalem, which remains vulnerable due to its broken walls. Structure and summary. 1. Nehemiah's commission and journey, chapters 1 to 2. Upon hearing that Jerusalem's walls are still in ruins, Nehemiah mourns and prays for God's favor. Nehemiah 1, verse 1 to 11. King Artaxerxes' permission. Nehemiah asks the Persian king for permission to go to Jerusalem to rebuild the walls. The king grants his request and provides letters of safe passage and resources. Nehemiah 2, verse 1 to 10. Arrival in Jerusalem. Nehemiah surveys the damage to the walls and inspires the people to begin rebuilding. Nehemiah 2, 11 to 20. 2. Rebuilding the walls, chapters 3 to 7. Organizing the work. The people of Jerusalem, including priests, nobles, and commoners, work on different sections of the wall. Nehemiah 3. Opposition and perseverance. Nehemiah faces resistance from local enemies like Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem, who ridicule and threaten the workers. Despite threats and conspiracy, Nehemiah organizes defenses and motivates the workers to continue. Nehemiah 4. Internal challenges. Nehemiah confronts economic injustices among the Jews, such as unfair loans and the exploitation of the poor. He calls for social reforms. Nehemiah 5. Completion of the wall. Despite ongoing opposition, the wall is completed in just 52 days, an achievement that demoralizes their enemies. Nehemiah 6. Census and security. Nehemiah organizes guards and records a list of returning exiles. Nehemiah 7. 3. Spiritual renewal, chapters 8 to 10. Public reading of the law. Ezra the scribe reads the book of the law to the people, leading to repentance, worship, and celebration. Nehemiah 8. Confession and covenant. The people confess their sins and renew their covenant with God, committing to follow his laws and avoid past mistakes. Nehemiah 9 to 10. 4. Resettlement and dedication, chapters 11 to 12. Resettling Jerusalem. Leaders and families are chosen by lot to repopulate Jerusalem, and villages surrounding the city are also settled. Nehemiah 11. Dedication of the wall. The wall is dedicated with a joyful celebration, including processions, choirs, and sacrifices. Nehemiah 12. 5. Nehemiah's reforms, chapter 13. Final reforms. Upon returning to Jerusalem after a brief absence, Nehemiah discovers that some reforms have been neglected. He enforces religious, social, and economic reforms, addressing issues such as intermarriage, Sabbath violations, and misuse of the temple. Nehemiah 13. 1. Leadership and perseverance. Nehemiah demonstrates decisive, prayerful, and courageous leadership in the face of adversity. 2. Faith and prayer. The importance of seeking God's guidance through prayer is emphasized throughout the book. 3. Community and covenant. The book highlights the need for a community committed to God's laws and mutual support. 4. Opposition and resilience. Despite external threats and internal challenges, the people's determination to rebuild reflects their resilience. The book of Nehemiah emphasizes the importance of both physical restoration, rebuilding the walls, and spiritual renewal, restoring faith and obedience to God. It serves as an inspiring model for leadership, communal responsibility, and faithfulness in difficult circumstances.